taking you to Big Sky, Montana to learn about a program like none other. Next on the Feel Good Frequency.
Good vibes are on the way.
I love the feel-good stories.
Oh, there'll be sarcasm mixed in, but that just adds to our charm.
So great. I love listening.
Welcome to Aaron O'Malley's Feel Good Frequency.
Danica and Zach, welcome.
Thank you. We're so excited to be here. Thanks for having us, Erin.
And you were just telling me a couple minutes ago that this is the first time either of you have done a podcast, and I'm so honored it's here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have a lot of fun. I read, I want to say a couple months ago, about this program that you have in Montana, and it is just so different and so cool. It is Big Sky Youth Empowerment. I wondered if you could take me back, because I know that it was started 25 years ago.
Yes, we are in our 25th anniversary this year.
My
Mhm.
dad works as a mentor here.
Is that how you found out about the program?
Nope, I found it out because of some of my friends.
I actually didn't know that your father was a mentor here.
Yep,
Really?
Dr. White Sorlocken.
That's amazing.
Yep.
I love that, and I love that you just found out about it. That is the neatest thing.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yep.
Wow. Awesome.
So I know that this was started by a gentleman named Pete, who is with a different organization right now, but still is on the board of Big Sky. Can you take me back to how this all came about and what the original goal was for it?
Yes. Well, Pete McFadden was a therapist working with young boys, teenage boys who were living in a group home and just going through a really difficult time in their lives. And he was assigned to provide therapy for them. And he just didn't seem to notice a huge change for the better from the week to week sessions. And he kind of at some point was like, I don't think the kids even want to be here in counseling with me. And there's got to be a better way. And so he devised this idea that maybe we could put the teens in a group together and do group mentoring and bring in really cool young adults who were highly relatable, people who maybe aren't as old as the parents of the teenagers, people who weren't like teachers, but just like maybe 20, 30-year-olds who could come in and be mentors, volunteer mentors for the teens. And then because we're in this beautiful, beautiful state with so many opportunities to get outside, he thought we should be outside a lot doing outdoor activities. And in fact, our motto is get outside,
And grow outside.
inside. Yeah.
Grow inside.
Yeah. And
Oh, I
so
love
being
that.
outside is a huge part of what we do at BYEP. And it's a life-changing, and in many cases for some teens, honestly, it's a life-saving program for so many kids here.
It's interesting that you said that, because I was going to say it's probably life-saving as well. And you just said it as I was thinking it. One of the things that I was so fascinated with when I read about how Pete started this is that he did want to get everybody outside. And one of the things that he was doing, he decided on the weekends, okay, we're going to learn to snowboard. What a better place, there's no better place to learn than here. And he ended up getting donated equipment. And I don't even know how he did that. I thought that was remarkable that he even pulled that off as a brand new nonprofit. And then he said, if you complete this with me for the whole 11 weeks and show up and do the snowboarding, you can keep the equipment.
Yes. Yes. So we still do that. It's part of our tradition that we recruit donors for gear, whether they're directly from companies. Always just get so excited when a box arrives and it happens to be extra coats or snow pants or helmets or gloves or goggles or neck warmers or base layers. I mean, it takes a lot to be comfortable temperature wise and just physically outside all day long skiing or snowboarding. And so having the right equipment is really important. And we want everyone to feel cool in their outfits too. So we do try to get nice quality gear, and we have a really fun day called Gear Distribution Day. For some kids, it's the first time they're about to join the program and their parents are here and they're meeting everybody. And so, yeah, it feels very festive, and that gear just builds a lot of confidence. And the kids get to keep the coats and things because it's very cold here at times in Montana.
Sure. I would assume so.
Yeah. And everyone's growing, so they can change it out as they grow and get bigger sizes. And we really believe that we want to have access for these amazing outdoor experiences that some kids wouldn't have access to without BYP opening that door and providing the equipment and making it easier for everybody.
Now, do you partner with different ski shops, or how do you get the gear? How does the community know to donate? Because I think that is such a good idea. And I would love to have something like that start here in Massachusetts where I live. I think it is so smart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we will do some outreach directly to companies and ask if they have a giving program. And then a lot of people in the community have gear that maybe their kids have outgrown or they themselves are no longer using, but it's still in good shape. So they'll drop it off and we have inspections on all the gear and a really organized gear room. Pretty sophisticated operation, just logistically. There's a lot of logistics. When you think about we have 126 teens in the program right now and 36 mentors, volunteer mentors, and that's a lot of people to outfit, feed, and transport up to the ski hill every Sunday.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, it definitely is. Now, is this an after school program too, where they come every day or once a week, or do you have different groups that come on different days?
So we have different things that go on every day here. Today is my workshop day, so that means I'm coming together in the group that Pete made, and I'm with my program manager and my two mentors, and we're just doing like our group thing. But I also come on Tuesdays and Thursdays because our program offers free tutoring. And I always go through the free tutoring because one, it helps me get my schoolwork done. And two, the volunteer mentors here, or tutors here are like really, really nice. So we have one block that's for tutoring that it's an hour that we kind of come here after school, get that hour in. And then we have an entire hour after that that we use for art and baking and cooking and just all of that fun activities.
Those are life skills that you can take with you forever.
Today, we have one of the workshop groups is cooking Mexican food. On Monday, they made Indian food. And so, yeah, just sometimes we'll have local chefs come in and teach how to roll sushi or make pasta. We've actually had some teens really loved the cooking so much that they end up becoming a chef and studying how to cook, traveling around the world on scholarship to learn cooking. And I think one of the reasons why we do so many different kinds of activities here at BYP is just we never know what is going to spark each person and get them passionate for their future careers or just hobbies and interests. So we do try to offer so many different things. Would you like to hear what some of the different things are?
Absolutely. I'm already fascinated. Please.
What are the things you've gotten to do here?
So there's different seasons. We go through the summer, the fall, and the winter season. We have all sorts of different activities in those seasons. I went skiing for my first time ever this season about 7 or 8 weeks ago, and it was a blast. I didn't know I would actually like skiing, and it was just a lot of fun. We've also gone to an alpaca farm, and I got to hold like a baby alpaca, and it was the cutest thing ever. Uh, we've gone White River rafting, and it was very fun. It was like a challenge, but not one that was super hard. We've gone to like jump time, where we've had like a lot of fun. We've gone kayaking. Organizations will come in and teach us some things. So at some point, I was getting taught self-defense by a group of people, and it was really, really fun.
So you said you found this through your friends. Is
Mhm.
this something that is told about in school? Hey, there's a program if you need some after school activities, or what is the goal and how do you find out about it? Because I would assume that there are more kids that want to do it than spaces available.
We do currently have a wait list, unfortunately. There could be dozens and dozens more kids that would benefit from the program. And currently, we just don't have quite enough funding to staff the full position and fill the building. So we have a building, and if we had just a little bit more money, like another 75,000 to 150,000, we could add a couple more staff and then we'd be fully at capacity, which would be wonderful. But aside from that, we work very closely with the school resource officers and counselors, principals and teachers. We also work with our local probation officers and community counselors, as well as parents, the librarians. Anyone who's interacting with young people will often know about BYP, see someone that they think would benefit from the program, and they can make a referral or tell the teen, hey, you should consider going to BYP's website and applying for this amazing organization. And you get to do all these fun things and make friends and have mentors and go on outdoor adventures. And the overall purpose is really to create a community for people, both young people and young adults and the larger community, to be able to grow into our best selves together. It's to transform ourselves from whatever challenges we might be facing day to day or big challenges in life, to have that support, that encouragement, and really importantly, these experiences outside where you don't feel so stuck in your one little self. You have this sense of awe and inspiration about being part of this amazing universe, world, earth, being on the top of a mountain. And it's just so freeing, and it can help get out of depression, anxiety, to physically move the body and to be in company with people that you trust. And so, really, the goal is to build a community to help everyone really thrive into their best selves and become contributing members of our community. And one of the things I love about you, Zach, is that you're so outgoing and confident. We see kids at the end of a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, standing on a stage and giving a talk that an entire audience of 400 people is just like, oh my gosh. And I think you're going to be one of those teens.
That would not surprise me. You have such a great personality. The second you sat down and we started chatting before I even hit record, I'm like, wow, you are just somebody that I want to hear what you have to say. You have such a presence about you. And for 14 years old, that's super impressive. Do you think that this program has helped bring that out of you?
Yeah, I used to, before I joined the program, actually, I was very quiet. I didn't have many friends. So, like, the one little friend group of 4 people that I was in, they were like, you should join BYEP. And now I have friends all over Montana.
Ugh.
Yeah, I kind of came out of that little circle I was in and kind of expanded. And that's what BYEP helped me do.
Are you now telling other kids about it and saying, you should do this too because it's made such a difference?
One of my friends that I recommended that I actually had them sign up is in the program right now. She also was kind of in like the small little friend group, and she didn't have many friends. And I kind of just like, hey, you should join this program. And then, well, she's in the program Mondays.
I love the difference that this is making. And then the people that were once in this program, since it's 25 years going now, are many coming back and being mentors themselves. That shows the impact that this has made and continues to make in your community.
Yeah, one of the things that's so amazing about mentors, which your father was one, is that they are committed to being here alongside the same group of teens every week for the same amount of time that the teens are here. And we see each teen here for at least 10 hours a week. Zach, you're probably here more than that because you're coming for additional days. But that means mentors are volunteering 10 hours per week for
Wow.
a minimum of 12 weeks. So it's 120 hours that they're donating, like 40 hours a month, which is, if you think about it, a whole work week per month
Yeah,
that
that's
they're
big.
giving their time. And we see a lot of volunteer mentors coming back season after season because they find it so powerful. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but a lot of mentors tell us that they feel like they grow more or as much or get more out of the program volunteering than they think that you guys do. I don't know if you've ever heard that, but it
I've
means
heard it from Bryce before he kind of went back to his home and went back to school. So Bryce is one of our old program managers. He was really, really nice. He grew. That's what he told us. When he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to be going back to school, and I'm going to be pursuing my dreams." Because I learned more about myself as you guys learn more about yourselves. I do miss him, but I'm very happy that he's pursuing his dreams as much as I am pursuing mine.
Wow, isn't that so cool how you're all inspiring each other? Just that reciprocal is You don't hear about it often in a lot of groups, and this is so different. No wonder you've been around so long.
I think that's a key signature of the BYP program is that as staff and volunteer mentors, I mean, I don't know, you can disagree if you want, but I kind of feel like teens can see through any kind of fakeness. And
Mhm.
so if we as adults are not our full best selves, or if there's a conflict between us as a team of adults or something, if we don't have that resolved well, it will carry into affecting how everyone is. So there's no hiding. Like we can't show up half not really our best selves as adults because we're here to like help everyone be their best self. So there's actually a lot of growing. I'm the executive director and I feel like I've really had to wanted to, but had to grow a lot myself over the 3.5 years I've been here. And I think that's part of what's so exciting about the organization is that it's committed, like we're all committed to growth and to helping each other in a community. And it takes the stigma out of all the things that our country has a mental health epidemic.
Yes.
I used to think that I myself was the problem around why I struggled with my mental health, depression, or yeah, just feeling not worthy or insecure. And, I just thought I was messed up and this was my thing. It really wasn't until I was in community before BYEP, but certainly continuing into this organization that I could see, oh, actually, that's a cultural thing that I grew up with, and that so many humans have this in our culture. And when we're together and you hear me sharing in a check in circle, my high and my low of the week, and then I hear yours, you kind of say, oh, wow, like she has problems too. I would never have thought she did. It just kind of normalizes that we all have weeks that go up and down, and that just even the sharing can make it feel better to have a community that accepts you, no matter what you're going through, how you're feeling about it, and that we're there to back each other up. And so we didn't tell you too much about the workshop nights, but that's one of the staples is every workshop night you share your high or your low or your rose and your thorn, sometimes we say. But
Oh, I like that.
anything else you'd want to share about what happens in workshop night?
Workshop night is one of my favorite nights because I get along with my group. I've got a group of like 5 or 6 individuals, and they show up frequently at least. And we all just get along very well. I didn't know I'd make like friends with some of these newer people that I met, but like all of them are my friends, and it's really fun to hang around them. And just kind of being in this space with them is really fun. We also get to like share our interests a lot. We do daily activities when we first get to BYEP and we get in our groups. We do this thing where we share our favorite songs or like a song of the week. Sometimes there'll be like a theme to be around. Today, I know Jack's group is doing the your best song to listen to when you're like really, really happy.
What a good idea.
And then we put in our songs, and then we have these 2 buckets. One's called the F It bucket, where we put in all of our, like, problems of the week. We just kinda throw it away. It's like, "Nuh-uh, we're gonna not focus on that." And then we have the gratitude bucket. We put our gratitude in it. We're like, "I'm really grateful for this week," and it's just a thing to bring us into the moment, and it's really fun. We also take a break from our devices, so we put our phones away. We just really enjoy the outside environment behind us.
I am so blown away by that the effort bucket and then the gratitude bucket. I feel like every employer should start that. Because can you imagine if on Mondays, instead of everybody just going into their cubicle and being miserable that it's Monday, everyone meets in the conference room or whatever, and you have actual buckets, and you're like, this is what happened that ruined my day on Saturday. And you write it down. Is that what you do? You write it down, you just throw it in?
Yep, we write it down, fold it up. We sometimes we can rip it depending on how we feel, and it's just like a letting go for
Yes.
the time so we could take a break from it.
That is genius. It's genius because it's also tangible. It's something you're seeing, you're writing, you're touching, and then you're literally letting go of. That is so smart. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Some of the groups will take their bucket of things that they're ready to let go of at the end of the season and burn them in an outdoor campfire or some kind of special ceremony to be like, okay, all of the things that happened over the season that we need to just let go, we can do that together. And then all the gratitudes we usually save for the whole year. And at Thanksgiving, we make this big wall of our gratitude garden of gratitude or gratitude wall, and all of those sticky notes of gratitudes get up and just kind of like, wow, look at all the things that we have, little things, big things accumulated all over the year that we're grateful for.
Mhm.
Okay. Have you ever heard of another program like this in any other place, any other city, state? Because this is something that I feel like should go viral. This is so smart. I love everything about what you're doing. I wish I lived there because I want to be part of this so badly.
Well, I think one of the things that's really unique and special about BYEP is that there's no stigma or very little stigma because it's not like this is a place for people with mental health problems or a
Mhm.
place to go fix your mental health, or it's really a program where it's about community, getting outside, growing inside, having fun, learning some life skills, but it really is necessary. And I don't want to what I'm about to share are some statistics around the need, and I'm not going to say that any of these are Zach's story particularly. So this is more about our general program numbers, but I just had some impacts that might be worth sharing.
Yes, please do.
But unfortunately, mental health challenges are really pervasive among the teens that we serve. And 53% of our teens have struggled with depression, and 46% of our current participants have struggled with suicidal ideation in the 12 months prior to joining BYP. So, about half of our teens. And in our most recent survey, because of all the work that we're doing with kids around community, getting outside, moving the body, being able to share, and we have a counseling program where you can get up to 8 free sessions of professional counseling here. We have seen that a lot of teens have said, this program literally saved my life, and that at least 74% of them report on the end of season evaluations that BYP has helped with their mental health. And so,
Wow.
yeah, like when we say that BYP saves lives, we mean it because it's like, I can't tell you in the 3.5 years how many teens have written that or said that or spoken it in a speech in front of, hundreds of people at the end of their year. And I just think it's such a pervasive challenge of our nation. Montana happens to be in the top 3 states in the nation for highest suicide rates for young people
Oh,
for over 30 years. And so, if there could be a way for this program to just grow and be in every community, it's such a neat way to address mental health because it's fun. It's
yeah.
it's not like going to a hospital and having to get fixed. It's just fun. So, that was one of the stats I wanted to share with you.
I'm so glad you did. I would never in a million years think that those numbers would be as high as they are. And it's life saving what you're doing. And you're making everything so fun. Instead of it's just, tell me what's going on with you. It's so different. I was thinking about when I was growing up and just maybe there was an after school program that you could go to at maybe the Y or something, but it had nothing to do with mental health. It was just go play some ball and then go home when your parents get there from work or whatever. Never anything like this. And the fact that people look forward to going and then you have so many come back to volunteer because it made such a difference in their lives, that is breathtaking.
Yeah, I feel really grateful and lucky that we have this program here.
What are the ages?
We usually I remember when I first signed up, I was like 12 years old, and I think that's like 12 to 18 is when you can participate, and then you can, of course, mentor anytime.
From 18
Yes.
and up. Yeah. A couple more stats that might be interesting is that nearly 40% of our teens come from single parent homes and have limited resources in their households. And so to make sure that there's no barriers for kids getting the support that they need, our program is offered 100% free of cost to participants, including transportation, the gear, like we mentioned, the mental health counseling, the snacks, all the activities that we do. It's just really important for us to make this truly accessible to everybody. And then one of the most amazing things is that, in spite of the fact that at least 1 out of 3 teens is struggling academically, 90% of our seniors graduated or completed their high set exam last year. And the year before, we had a 100% graduation rate. And this is way above the state average here in Montana, which is in the like 84 to 86% typically. So we're
Wow.
just so proud of these teens academically being able to just feel better in life and have this community that then naturally, maybe sometimes with the tutoring support, but just naturally in general, makes it easier to focus and do well in school.
Yeah, and Zach, it sounds like you all cheer each other on too.
Yep. Every night we have this little circle and we sit down and we share everything about our week, whether it was high, it was low, and we just kind of let it out and of course support each other. I've gotten support while giving support at the same time, and we're just all leaning on each other's shoulders, and it's like a really helpful environment for me.
So, do you think that when you are older and you have to graduate from this program, do you see yourself coming back and helping and mentoring?
Heck yeah.
I knew you were going to say that.
I was thinking on even maybe program managing.
Oh,
Being a program
a
manager
staff member.
I love that.
Awesome. I like that
like Bryce and
vision.
Jack. Jack is
Yeah.
our current program manager, much like Bryce was. So it's like the adult that's, like a mentor, but like they're every night with all the teens. And they're
Oh,
just
I could see you doing that without any hesitation. You have the confidence and the voice, and you command that presence. Oh, you'd be great.
I agree. Yeah.
And I have to say, Danica, one of the things that I keep thinking about is that it's not just the kids, the participants that are sharing, it's the mentors that will say, "This is what's going on with me. This is what's been hard for me." You don't hear about that. And I wish that more programs, more community efforts did things like that, shared instead of just being the adults and the kids. And that separation really doesn't do anybody any good, I feel like. And the fact that you're that age, I remember thinking, like, when I was that age, if somebody that was a little bit older was saying, "This is what's going on with them," and especially if it was somebody I looked up to, it's like, "Oh, wow, that just normalized what I'm going through." If you're going through that and, you're having a tough time with that, it makes me feel less pressure on myself that I'm going through it as somebody much younger.
Exactly.
How
Yeah.
freeing. How
Yeah.
freeing.
It is just the humanness. I was talking
Yes.
on Sunday, we were having our last ski and snowboarding day up at Big Sky Resort, which is this painting of Lone Peak Mountain. This is what we're skiing. This is in the background of what we're skiing. Literally,
Stunning.
mountain is what we're skiing on and or snowboarding on. And I was talking to a mentor who's been here just over a year. She's done 2 winter seasons, a summer season, and a fall season, and she works as a volunteer with our Spanish-speaking group, teens. And she said that she just got so much out of the program. She had no idea that she was going to get more out of it than the kids. And she said that she'd never done anything in the snow before like that. And she was so nervous, and the kids just helped her feel more courageous. And it's just the community that gets built up because 10 hours a week together for 12 weeks. And then you do another 12 weeks in the summer and another 12 weeks in the fall. That's 36 weeks, 360 hours. Zach, you're here probably closer to 15 hours or maybe even 20 hours a week. You really get to know each other, and it's like a second family.
Oh, that's so needed and so beautiful. Ah, I love that for all of you. What a difference this is making. Like you said earlier, I really would love to see this all over the country too because it's so needed.
Yeah.
One embarrassing thing is BYP is such like a family to me that I accidentally called my program manager dad at some point, and I was like, "Ooh," but then the entire group called him dad for the rest of the day. You
Ah!
can't get that.
That must have felt so good for him, though. That really must have. So, Danica, you've been there for, you said 3.5 years, is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
Can you give me an example of somebody that you've seen? You don't have to give names, of course, but somebody that you've seen go through the program that maybe you'll never forget, that was so turned around by it that it's maybe a story that you think of when you think of your program?
Yeah, I can think of dozens.
I bet.
That's it. But I'll share the story of one who's currently in our program about to graduate now and is just such an example of transformation. And I think you'll relate to this, Zach. You probably know her, but she was struggling because, and she has shared her story publicly in a speech. So I think she's considers herself a strong mental health advocate. She in 8th grade lost her father to suicide, and as she was grieving his loss and feeling all those big feelings, and relying on her school, um, counselor to support her, it wasn't much later that her school counselor ended up taking his life, and so, a whole community, was really struggling for that role because it's such a critical role in a community, a school community. And so she was just really at sea with all of that and got
Mhm,
to come into BYEP around that time. And it was just, a really important place for her to start really being able to grieve, make friends. As she said, she had always been the one who was caretaking others, the one who would always be the ear for other kids, even family members to take care of them and hear their problems, and she didn't know how to seek help for herself. And so
mhm,
being a BYP was the first time where she had other people asking her how she was doing and encouraging her to be able to take care of herself. Um and what she said was, "It was actually the first time I got to stop being almost like a parental responsibility figure, and I could just be a kid." Was, like, in 8th or 9th grade, and I could just come here and have fun and
oh,
put all of the weight aside and just actually have fun. And now she's been in the program, she's graduating, so she started in 8th grade, she'll be graduating from high school, so she's been with us for 5 years, and she is just an incredible speaker. She's a mental health advocate, not only for young people. She says that BYP saved her life, but she also is a mental health advocate for adults because if adults are not well, kids are not well. It's just, we need to care about everybody. And I just think that's really beautiful that she, is in such a service mindset, and has so much confidence. She, was nominated to our organization nominated her to be part of a statewide youth council for mental health, and she was accepted, and so now she's actually serving, at a statewide level, to advocate for the youth voice across the state, and I just see that BYP has the potential to help so many kids find their true authentic gifts and make them into huge contributions for our community, even our state, and probably in many ways for the greater world.
wow. Oh my gosh, that is such a huge story, and what a difference. Thank goodness she found you. Thank
Yeah.
goodness she found that place.
Yeah. I just think about all the lights of each person, having such an amazing spirit and light and gifts to give the world. And
Yeah.
yeah, BYP's really just kept those lights going and they add to it and help other lights keep going. And we would have lost some beautiful people without this program over the last 25 years. We've served over 1,200 teens in our time.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a
Well,
bit
here's to another 1,200 times 100 because you are making such a difference. And I love everything that your program is about. It is so much more than I even realized. This is needed, so needed across our country. And I truly hope that people hear this in different communities and then start to really do that research and see if they can't do something similar because it is so necessary.
thank you, Erin, for seeing
Oh,
that.
what an honor to speak with you both. Thank you so much for taking the time. And wow, Zach, I'm really happy that you have that place and all these friends now that you are excited to see all the time. And it sounds like you can't wait till school's done so you can get there. So you're banging on the door before they're even open. I can tell. I hope that years from now, I get to check back in and you are running the place.
Cool. Also, if people are interested in learning more about BYEP, we have a lot of stories, amazing videos on our website where other teens are sharing their stories, parents are talking about the program, and our website address is byep.org.
byep.org. Got it. That's perfect. I'm so glad we can share that.
We should show her our BYEP cheer. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
what we do at the end of every session. So do you want to
Yeah.
with us? Okay,
Do share.
can you put your hand in the middle with us, Erin?
Oh, gosh, yes. I'd love to.
All right, so this is going to be our cheer. This is what we end everything on. It's the sound of BYEP, BYEP. So we go
Okay.
yep.
Yep.
But we're going to count to 3. We're going to do it together. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
BYEP. Do that every night.
I'm honored to have done that with you. Thank you so much for including me in it. I feel very special now.
Thank you so much for having us.
I cannot stop thinking about this program now and how it really is needed all over our country. Think about how fantastic it would be to have something like this in every city, in every town. So kids have people to really talk to. They become a community and not only with each other, but also with these mentors that are helping them through some really tough times. It's just such a smart program and how many activities they have and how much fun they all have. Everyone looks forward to going, not just the ones that are in it, the kids that are 12 to 18, but the mentors. And then these kids, so many of them have such a great experience that then they come back to be mentors and help the next set of kids that are coming through. Honestly, we need more things like this. This is so genius. It's been around for 25 years in Big Sky, and it should absolutely be everywhere. And if you want to find out more about it, you can go to their website, byep.org, and please try to find a way to do it in your community if it has inspired you, because I can feel the difference that it has made just by talking to these two humans on this podcast. And it's so exciting to think about how many lives have been not just helped, enhanced, but saved through it. Thank you so much for joining me. If you know somebody that would be perfect on the Feel Good Frequency, please share. ErinO'Malley'sFrequency.com is my website. Email me through it. Thanks again. Have a fantastic week. Bye.